Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Wednesday. Here is a super quick stock market update on what happened with the PPI report. I'm going to start sharing my screen so you can see exactly what it is that I'm looking at. SQQQ is only up 1% on the day, but because of one of our live sessions, the NASDAQ market sold off quite a bit. The NASDAQ market gapped up quite a bit because of the PPI report, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. SQQQ became very oversold. NASDAQ market became very overbought. We talked about this. This was caught within our live trading session. It was very similar to yesterday's setup. It becomes very overbought. Apple becomes very overbought. Amazon becomes very overbought. Tesla becomes very overbought. And then guess what? Any reaction tends to be an overreaction, and then it corrects itself. Just like it did yesterday and just like it did today. We waited for that overreaction. I stepped on the gas when we broke below the moving average on QQQ, and then I stepped on the gas on SQQQ. As of right now, I only have 4,200 shares. I'm gonna be locking in profits, and I'm gonna explain my exit right now. I'm up $7,500 on the day, and again, this is with SQQQ only up 0.86% on the day. But remember, it's not about what this is up or down, right? Because as a day trader, you make money based off of the intraday movements. And when this thing began to break above the moving average, even from lows to high, right? From lows to high, by not holding this thing overnight, I was able to, in a perfect world, partake in nearly a 5% movement. Obviously, I didn't catch that entire thing. I didn't really start stepping on the gas until we broke above the moving average. It's just one of our focuses of waiting for confirmation. I did have a position. I bought into the dip, and then I added more when direction was actually in my favor. And there goes $8,200 on the day. This was after my $6,000 gain yesterday, shorting the NASDAQ market again. I'm playing it safe, and one of the things that I want to talk about is on the 5-minute time frame, just so you can see it a little bit more clear. Why is my limit order to sell at 46.37? Well, yesterday's resistance was right around 46.40 and 46.50. So I just announced that to my Learn Plan Profit group, making them all aware that yes, we are on the overbought side, but yes, yesterday we did have a very solid resistance right around 46.50. So it's good for them to be aware of that. So if we approach that range or approach that level once again, that if we begin to show signs of a resistance or signs of a rejection, that they're not surprised, right? And I think that's the best thing we can do, is making people aware of what has happened in the past before, not because it has to again, but because it tends to, right? Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to. So what was released today? That was the PPI report. I do want to remind you guys, some people were messaging me on, Ricky, why didn't you go live if you said you would? I said that if by the time, right, by yesterday, when I uploaded that video, I was giving you guys until I went to sleep, which is right around midnight to 1 o'clock Arizona time. I gave the video a couple of hours to get 1,500 likes. It did not. I have a daughter, I have a baby. I was in no rush to host that live stream. It's a free live stream, and I just wanted to bring it back to you guys. If you guys want me to host those live streams, then drop a thumbs up, right? The video got, a couple tens of thousands of views, but at the end of it, if you guys don't drop a thumbs up and you guys just expect me to go live, then I want to remind you that I'm not here to go live if people aren't here to show that kind of support, right? So if you guys want me to host those live streams, what I ask you to do is to drop a thumbs up to show me that you want me to go live. And when I saw by the time that it was midnight, I had 1.1K likes, which I really do appreciate. But again, we didn't hit that 1.5K. So instead of just going live like I always do, I wanted to hold you guys accountable and make you guys aware that, again, if you want me to go live, then drop a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about today's report. Overall, PPI inflation came in at 6.2%, which is actually lower than expected. The expectation, the forecast was 6.8%. The previous was 6.3. So we went from 6.3. The market expected us to drop to 6.8, but we actually reported a 6.2. So much lower than expected, which is good. Remember, we've talked about this. What does PPI report? What does the PPI inflation rate mean? Well, this is inflation on the producing side of things, and this always gets passed down to the consumer later down the road. So by seeing that inflation on the producing side of things is actually lower than expected, then that means that later down the road, it should get passed down to consumers, which means that consumers on the months that follow should still continue to see lower inflation month after month. Now, of course, it never is like that in a perfect world, but it's a good tool to use as a reference of, hey, if inflation is going up on the producing side of things, then that normally is going to get passed down to consumers as well. So vice versa, right? So it's good to understand the good, it's good to understand the bad, and how it trickles down to the consumer. The producer price index is not as big as a consumer price index, just because everyone's always so much more focused on what's happening to the consumer side of things. But just wanted to make sure that you guys understood why the market reacted the way that it did. So again, the market originally gapped up, and you might be asking, well, why is the market selling off now? One of the things is, again, I mean, the market was rising even before the report was released, and this is something that was already getting factored into the market. It's been on a consistent rally since January 6th, and this was right before the CPI report was released, and then today we released the PPI report. Remember, if I'm not mistaken, around January 25th or January 26th, we have the up-and-coming interest rate hike, so that's going to be one of the next big events, as well as all the up-and-coming earning reports that are set to be released this week, next week, and the weeks that follow. As of right now, this is our first test on the moving average, where again, once again, we are breaking below the EMA, and what we're looking for is, are we making lower lows? If this thing begins to sell off, then we'll most likely retrace right back down to that 160 price, 160 support for QQQ. And if QQQ sells off, so will all of your tech stocks. Apple, Amazon, Tesla, all of them. All of them will follow if the NASDAQ market follows as well. So again, we are at a critical point. You can take it as a grain of salt, or you can begin to prepare. If this begins to sell off and begins to make lower lows, everything in your stock portfolio that is invested in tech will also sell off. You can either prepare now or regret it later, right? We're not here to tell you what to do. We're just here to make you aware of what's going on. Not that it has to sell off, but just making you cautious, because if it does, what can you do to prepare? You can reduce your position size. You can at least make sure that you have cash available on the sideline. So if it does sell off, you're either able to short the market on the way down if you short, or able to take advantage of the dip buy opportunities for those that are long-term investors. So I'm very excited to follow up. I know my Learn Plan Profit team is all covered and ready to go when it comes down to that, and we're ready to make it happen. So again, I took no trade. I just left myself with my one lucky share on TQQQ, but all the money that I made today is on SQQQ, and that's a little bit over $8,000 on the day. I do want to remind you, I do trade live every single day exclusively with my Learn Plan Profit group, and they are the only group that get to watch me trade live every single day. So if you've ever wanted to see what it's like to watch me trade live, get access to the A to Z video lesson library, private group chat, and access to the TechBuds HQ, right now as well, we're giving away a free mystery box with every new person that signs up, and that's that second link in the description down below. So by clicking that second link, not only do you get our biggest sell, which is a one-time payment, lifetime access at $150 off, there's no bigger sell than that. On top of that, until January 20th, so 2 more days, you get to redeem your free mystery box. That comes with a trading mousepad, a trading flag, a Wall Street tee, and a trading journal, all included for free. All you have to do is click this link, select your size, and we'll take care of the rest. Again, this is provided for you on the thank you page once you purchase Learn Plan Profit 2.0. So click the link, get that discount, sign up, and on the thank you page, redeem your free mystery box, and that is all provided for you here. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, feel free to send me a direct message via Discord, and that's that first link in the description, or feel free to send me a direct message via Instagram, and that's that third link in the description down below. I appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.